Carissa Thomas, and I'm here on staff at the Harvest working with our movement internship as well as all of our frontline volunteers. And I just want to share with you a personal story of what God's done in my life through fasting as you're in the middle of your fast, which I'm so excited that you're joining us on our 21-day fast. Already, I believe God is doing amazing things, but I want to share a story from a fast that I did with some friends a few years ago. I had a dear friend of mine that was very, very sick. She was only 20 years old and her kidneys were failing, and the doctors basically were saying it's a miracle you're alive, but there's nothing we can do. We can only prolong it and see if we can get them going. And they basically were saying maybe these methods will keep you alive for the next year. So 20 years old and dying. And over the year, her strength failed. She could barely walk. We had to almost carry her from couch to chair. She was eating just applesauce. She was going in for these treatments 2 to 3 times weekly. And we were just really watching her just fail in front of us, and praying and asking the Lord for healing and for a miracle in her life, and just remembering things that God had promised and saying, God, like, when are you coming through? When are you coming through? And at one point, about a year and a half into this sickness taking over her life, she felt like the Lord told her to go to a certain prayer house for healing, that they'd been seeing a lot of miracles, and she felt like God was like, go there and be intentional. And so we decided as her friends to come around her, and for 3 weeks before she went on this trip, we fasted and prayed specifically for her healing. And I just remember for 3 weeks just crying out and saying, God, please come through. Please save her life. And 3 weeks later, she actually went on my birthday, and she calls me on my birthday and says, hey, I have a birthday present. God totally healed me. She was in the prayer rooms and God touched her in such a powerful way. She jumped up and down, dancing around. This is the girl who couldn't even walk, is dancing around in the prayer room. She had scars all over her stomach from the treatments where needles had been put into different parts of her stomach. She looks and all of the scars are gone. And the sickness actually was derived from something in her DNA. And so when she went back to the doctor the next week, they did blood work, and even what had been in her DNA had been removed. They couldn't find it in her DNA any longer. God had totally and miraculously healed her. And still to this day, we just rejoice every time that date comes around, and we just thank God for the miracle that he did. But I truly believe it came because of prayer and fasting and crying out. God answered. And I just want to speak to those of you specifically who are asking God for something that maybe you've been asking for a very long time. I even feel like maybe some of you have fasted for this before, or last January, this was your prayer. And even as our theme this year is now is the time, I felt like God just really put in my spirit that now is the time, and things that we've been waiting on, that this time the breakthrough is coming. So I just want to encourage you as you pray and as you fast, be diligent in it. Ask the Lord, present your requests to God. And I just really believe that by February 1st, we're going to be hearing stories of how God came through for you in your prayers, that this was the time, that your child was saved, that someone was healed, that the financial provision came, that the doors open. And so I just want to let you know that we as a staff, we're praying with you, we're believing with you as we fast. And I just believe God is going to do mighty things. Now is the time.